In the 15th century, a violent battle is taking place deep in a forest. A powerful warrior screams in pain, then quickly grabs a strange helmet and puts it on, preparing himself to continue fighting. This scene is not real, but a dream that Anne is having while sitting inside a church. Everyone in the church is a woman because all the men have gone to fight in a civil war. After the mass ends, Anne's mother-in-law, Morwen, walks up to a pregnant woman. She gently touches her belly and hand, wishing her well, but it is only a trick to secretly steal her bracelet. As they walk back home, Anne wonders if the woman will notice her bracelet is gone. Morwen says it does not matter because the woman has many things while they have nothing. While crossing the forest, Anne hears a sound and turns around. In the distance, she sees a knight slowly riding a horse, and she cannot stop staring at him. Morwen calls her name, and they continue walking. When they reach home, Anne starts working in the garden, planting seeds. Suddenly, she notices she is bleeding and quickly washes it away so Morwen does not see. Later, she prepares a simple stew because they do not have much food. Morwen has weak teeth and cannot chew properly, so Anne chews the food for her and spits it back into the bowl. After Morwen falls asleep, Anne eats whatever little is left and then lies down beside her, sharing the same bed. That night, Anne dreams about her childhood. She remembers playing in the forest with two boys and going to the beach, where she once fell down. The next morning, Morwen goes to the market to sell the stolen bracelet and some vegetables. Meanwhile, Anne dreams about her husband, Seamus, returning from war. In her dream, he suddenly falls to his knees, holding his head and screaming in pain, asking for help. Morwen wakes her up before she can react. Anne feels happy when Morwen brings food, but when she cuts an onion, she finds it is rotten. Morwen throws it away and says it is fine as long as they have each other. Anne begins to cry, and Morwen tells her to stay strong and have faith. Later, Anne goes to the beach to collect water and sees a fisherman singing while fixing his boat. She recognizes him as Iago, her childhood friend. She asks if the war is over, but Iago says it is only over for him. When she asks about Seamus, Iago becomes silent and looks sad. Later, the women feed Iago, and he explains how terrible the war was, filled with death, blood, and suffering. He says he was never meant to be a soldier. One night, he and Seamus tried to escape their camp to return home, but thieves attacked them and killed Seamus. Morwen demands to know exactly how it happened, and Iago explains it in detail. Anne cannot handle it and breaks down in tears. After that, Anne goes into the forest to cry alone. She remembers her childhood again and imagines holding Seamus's hand. Nearby, the mysterious knight is seen riding once more. That night, Morwen worries about their future and leaves the house to deal with her emotions. Sometime later, a broken boat crashes on the beach, and a young man crawls out, surrounded by the dead bodies of his crew. Morwen suddenly appears behind him and kills him. She calls Anne, and together they take his money and valuables. Anne is horrified and begins to pray, while Morwen pretends the man drowned like the others. Later, Morwen sells everything in the market, and they finally get to eat a proper meal. The next day, Anne sees the knight again standing far away and watching her. She runs inside in fear and tells Morwen, but Morwen says she is imagining things. Later, on her way to church, Anne passes Iago and ignores him, but he follows her and walks beside her. He reminds her that her husband is dead. After church, he walks her home, but Morwen is not happy to see him and quickly takes Anne inside. While cooking, Morwen tells Anne that she never trusted Iago because he was always jealous of Seamus. Anne defends him, saying he was her friend first, but Morwen warns her to stay away from him. Even so, Anne secretly meets Iago when she goes to town. At the same time, the knight continues appearing in the forest. One day, Morwen brings a priest home and lets him eat their last food. After he finishes, she kills him and plans to sell his belongings. Anne is shocked and scared, but Morwen insists it is necessary for survival. They hide the body and clean the blood, though Anne feels guilty. Later, Anne hears a strange noise outside and goes to check. In the forest, she sees an old man, but suddenly the knight appears and kills him. Anne screams and runs away. Iago finds her and calms her down, but he does not believe her story about the knight. He confesses his feelings and asks her to meet him at night. That night, Anne sneaks out and meets Iago. They share a romantic moment and grow closer. The next morning, Iago asks her to live with him, but she refuses because she does not want to leave Morwen alone. As time passes, Morwen continues killing people to survive, while Anne feels more confused and trapped. Eventually, Anne learns the truth about Seamus. Iago admits that Seamus had changed during the war and became greedy and violent. He fought the mysterious knight, took his helmet, and wore it. The helmet cursed him, causing him great pain, and Iago left him behind. At the same time, Morwen realizes that the knight she killed was actually her own son, Seamus, transformed by the cursed helmet. She is filled with grief and madness. In the end, the helmet is revealed to hold dark power and the souls of those it has killed. Anne and Morwen try to escape its influence. Anne seems stronger and less affected, while Morwen suffers deeply. Finally, Anne takes control of her own life and choices. The story ends with her holding the helmet, listening to its whispers, as the darkness still remains and threatens to continue.